Broadcasting live from Houston, from the space city to the world. You are watching Now Media Television.
Good day and welcome to Your Personal Real Estate. I'm your host, Michelle Brooks. If this is the first time that you're with us, thank you for being here. And within each week, we explore various aspects of real estate and how they impact or support buyers and sellers and investors alike. So let's begin. Everyone's asking, why should I buy a home today? There are many reasons, and KeepingCurrentMatters.com has an infographic that shows the estimated national price performance, December to December, as forecasted Q4 of 2022's Home Price Expectation Survey. This information was gathered by Pulsenomics by polling over 100 economists, investment strategists, and housing market analysts. The article states these experts forecast home prices will return to normal levels of appreciation through to 2027. Now, 2027 is going to be here before we know it. When you look at 2023 at a negative 1.61%, and for the performance going up to 4.44% in 2027, I mean, again, this is estimated national price performance. All that shows us is your home value will most likely increase over the next 5 years. Build equity for your family. Begin your generational wealth today. You can refinance later. We'll talk about low price adjustments for no cash out refinances another day. Don't think we haven't lost sight of that. I remember when I first started in the real estate industry in 1996, it was said that most people stayed in their homes for 5 to maybe 8 years. And as time passed, it was 8 to 12 years. And I believe today we're sitting approximately 13 years. And why am I sharing this information, or average length of time for a person to own their own home with you today? It is to reiterate, this is most likely a long-term situation for you and your family when you are stepping into home ownership, if I get that out. I'm an advocate of education. I'm also one that will tell you to seek answers. It is up to you, buyers, to reach out to your lender and have a conversation to discover for yourself and what's best for you and your family, right? If you do not have a lender, continue watching our show today or go back. Meet a loan officer, a loan originator within the previous shows. Learn more about other lenders. I try to have a lender each show so that you can see there are choices. You don't have to go with the first one you meet. Just as you would interview a realtor, you should interview your lender. We have so much more for you today. We have Chris Parrott. He's with Motto Mortgage, knowing your choices for home loans. Kat Theriault, she's the owner of the House Manager. She's a text away to managing what is needed within your home. You're going to love her and the flexibility and the time that she creates for you daily. We also have Scott McGrath. He is the owner with McGrath Pest Control. Now, he's not just pest control. And also, we will be speaking with TJ Hilscher. He's the CEO and owner of HG Home Inspections. When you are buying a home, this is one of the most important things that you'll need. And we'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Hey, Lily says AT&T's giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
Welcome back, everyone. I am here to introduce you today to Chris Parrott. Now, Chris Parrott is with Motto Mortgage, and I keep telling everyone education is key when you are a home buyer and looking to purchase a home. Get to know your lenders. How are you doing today, Chris?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me here today.
Well, I'm glad you are here. So tell us a little bit about you and tell us what led you being a part of Motto Mortgage.
Yeah, I think the most interesting things about me are that I'm married to a wonderful lady named Kelly, and that I have 3 super awesome kids. They occupy a lot of my time. But being a dad and a husband have been a lot of fun. It's really meaningful part of life. In terms of Motto Mortgage, I am a relatively new LO, so I've been originating loans for a little less than a year now, coming up on my anniversary of doing so. And when I was looking around in the space, there are lots of mortgage companies. I'm sure that folks out there buying homes might even get overwhelmed with the number of mortgage companies. But as I was looking through them, I talked to a few friends who were in the industry and got connected with these guys. And one thing that I saw when I went to their website to do a little bit of research was that they had this section just under their leadership about giving back. And that's been an important value for me in my life, is finding ways to serve others and give back. I noticed that about this company, that it was built into their DNA. Not to mention that they're a nationwide company, so lots of support for someone like me who's just coming into the industry.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, this is a great industry, and it's a great time to be a part of real estate, no matter what's going on in this crazy market today. So I keep on wanting to say Motto Mortgage, or Motto Mortgage, and it's Motto Mortgage. So, and I've been calling it that for years, and it's my understanding it doesn't matter what we call it, you're going to answer your phone, right?
That's right.
Well, one of the things, knowing Motto Mortgage, there's branches. The branches are locally owned and operated. And you mentioned about researching lenders. Why is it important for an individual to do the research of lenders and really look at someone local?
Yeah, I think it is really important. Like I said, there are many, many mortgage companies out there, and there are going to be mortgage companies that are, kind of better suited to you and your personality, right? Each mortgage company is going to have their own personality, their own ethos, and even within Motto Mortgage, like you mentioned, all the branches are individually owned and operated. So, for example, the branch that I work for, Motto Mortgage Borrowers First, is owned. Our broker owner is a veteran, a disabled veteran, and so he understands the needs of those who've served our country. So regardless of who you are and what your background is, you are going to get a 5-star client experience if you come to Motto Mortgage Borrowers First. But specifically, if you're a veteran, we have folks in our office who've been there. And so, I do believe that, each branch being individually owned and operated also provides just more options for the consumer. And I believe the more options that you have, the better chances are that you're going to find a deal that suits you and suits your needs. Motto Mortgage is a broker. We have access to, many different lenders who are competing for your business. At my branch, we work with the largest mortgage lender in the country. And so again, you work with us, you've got options. I do believe you get out there, you start looking, you're going to find that, there are different companies, different personalities within those companies. But, if you work with us, you're going to get that 5-star client experience. You're going to get someone who's interested in you getting the best deal possible.
Well, Chris, I do love that about your brokerage, about your company. Now, I always start the show with a mortgage company because there are so many options for buyers today. You mentioned the VA. Now, is there one program or product that you want to share with us today that's really working in today's market?
Yeah, I was thinking about this and thinking about what's working in today's market. And there's been a lot of change in the market over the last year with interest rates changing. I'm sure that folks that are looking to purchase a home are well aware of that. Really in terms of the product or the type of loan that is going to work, really that depends on your situation. So a person may be a first-time home buyer. Well, there are certain programs that are available for you. A person may be looking for a vacation home or an investment property. So we've got different types of loans for different folks. Even foreign nationals who may be looking to purchase a home here, we've got programs for those folks, different types of loans that will best suit their needs. And so I would say, though, that as I was thinking about this, one thing that's interesting that's changed in the market is that the Department of Housing and Urban Development through the FHA recently reduced the mortgage insurance premium for folks who are getting an FHA loan. And so I was thinking about that. I was thinking about maybe there's someone out there who had applied for an FHA loan and the debt to income ratio was just a little too tight for you to qualify at the time. Well, now would be a good time to revisit that, because again, it was just a couple of months ago that the FHA did reduce that mortgage insurance premium, which makes a significant difference in your monthly payment.
That it does. I mean, when you're looking at FHA, I remember it was a one-time fee, right? Many years ago. And with FHA loans, it is a monthly item. However, it's great that they're reducing that upfront cost, because every penny counts when it comes to the closing table.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? It really does. So how do you make your rates competitive for home buyers? Interest rates, you don't manage, you don't regulate those. I get that, but you hear about different brokerages and they say quote it, right? Talk to different lenders. How do you make your rates competitive?
Yeah, I do think that's so important to, when you're getting a mortgage, shop around, find the best deal. Again, like you mentioned earlier, the Motto Mortgage branches, it's a franchise, so each is independently owned and operated. And so each of those branches may have a different answer to this question. But I'll tell you one thing about Corey Kamerdiner, our broker owner, is that he wants to put the borrower first. He wants to put the consumer first. And to that end, again, like you said, we don't really have any control over what the interest rates are doing. But what do we have control over? Well, we have control over how much we get paid. And our broker owner has decided to limit the commission that our brokerage makes on loans and pass that savings on to the consumer. So I would imagine there aren't just a lot of people out there who are willing, to make that sort of a sacrifice to provide the best deal to the borrower. But, fortunately, the company that I work for wants to put the homeowners first. So that's one way that we stay competitive with our interest rates.
Well, you definitely do not hear of that happening very often within the mortgage world, right? With capping that. So that's interesting. I like hearing that. So that's a good thing. Make note of that, everyone. All right. So the loan process application, right? The application process, it's easy. They have the opportunity to apply online. I always say the buyers can stay in their PJs and throughout the process. So can they truly just stay in their PJs throughout the process, or are they going to need to come into your office to complete some step for the pre-approval?
So in terms of the pre-approval, it can completely be done online. That's one great thing about being connected with a nationwide company like Motto Mortgage, is that we have the technology backing up what we're doing every day. So we want to make the process as easy as possible for you. So really from application, pre-approval, once you're under contract, even moving into closing, there's no real need for you to come into the office. Now, certainly if you're a person who prefers to work in the analog world, I would love to meet you in person, make that connection, and provide the opportunity for you to visit the office, see who we are in that way. But if convenience is key for you, then you're certainly going to be able to handle the entire process in your pajamas.
I think that is so great. So what is your pre-approval process? What is the time frame for that, and how long do your pre-approvals last?
Yeah, so the answer is always it depends. For the average kind of W-2 earner, the pre-approval process, wouldn't take more than 24 hours, 48 hours if there was, some questions that we needed to get answers to. All of that depends on how quickly you get your documents back. So a lot of the turnaround time in the pre-approval process is how quickly you're able to get back with your loan originator with the documents that are required. I know it's, kind of a headache. There are lots of things that we ask for, but just the faster that you get those back to us, the faster we can confirm your income, assets, and liabilities and turn that pre-approval around for you so that you can get out there and do the fun part, which is looking for homes. With certain income situations, like let's say you're self-employed, or let's say you've moved around quite a bit. I know a lot of folks who work in more industrial industries move around quite a bit, welders, people of that nature. So if that's the case, it may take a few more days, but we're going to get in there and get that done as quickly as possible for you.
Well, that's wonderful. So, Chris, thank you so much for being here. Now, quickly, can you touch on the Give Back that you spoke of earlier? What is the organizations that your company gives back to?
Yeah, so we started an initiative, not me, Motto Mortgage started an initiative, and it's called the Mission Against Hunger. And so, they had this thought that, there are folks who are moving out of their home. They may have a pantry that's stocked with some non-perishable items. Maybe those cans are heavy, maybe they don't want to move them, but they don't want to throw them away either, right? So one thing that they've made, just this supernatural connection that we can provide you bags for you to put those canned goods in, assuming they're still within their expiration date, and that those will get donated to a local food bank, where families who are, kind of having trouble making ends meet or just need someone to fill in the gap a little bit in terms of food, can visit those food banks, and, those canned goods, those non-perishable items will get distributed to those in need. So I thought this was just a super, kind of easy, it just makes sense way for, not only for our organization to give back, but for, even folks who are selling their homes, moving on to bigger and better things, or downsizing, to give back as well.
Great. Well, thank you so much for being with us today, Chris. We appreciate you greatly, and we'll be right back after this commercial.
Yeah, thanks so much.
I was recently asked what it means to be a family lawyer. What is family law? Family law is not just about divorce or custody or child support. Family law is about your life. As a family lawyer, I protect your children, your wealth, your future. I don't do this alone. As your attorney, we work as a team to determine your goals and priorities and provide a strategy in an often complex, painful, and confusing time. Whether it's asset protection through pre- or post-marital agreements, or fighting to protect your children, I'm here to help. My team and I bring decades of combined experience to support you and your family in all aspects of family and wealth planning, from estate and legacy planning, to divorce and child custody issues, to representation in complex litigation cases. Take a decisive step. We're here when you're ready. Remember, it's about your life.
The tax and bookkeeping team is key to any successful business. At Gunderson's Bookkeeping, our passion is to help small business owners grow, be profitable, and to prosper. We specialize in supporting small to mid-sized business owners who want to hire a full-time or even a part-time bookkeeper, but just do not have the funds. In addition, we free business owners from the tedious tasks of bookkeeping and help them focus on their business operations, their growth, and profitability. Gunderson's Bookkeeping is your business solutions partner, offering a broad range of services to meet the needs of our clients. A profitable business needs accurate and reliable books, so take a strong step and call us today for your personal, no-risk consultation.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Michelle Briggs, your host for Your Personal Real Estate. And we are continuing our show today with Kat Theriault. She's Project Management PMP and owner of House Manager. Kat, tell us what PMP stands for. How are you doing today?
Hey, Michelle. So it's Project Management Professional Certificate.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you. Thank you for correcting me on that and clarifying that for us. So today, what you provide, the services that you provide, you really allow for, people to you free up their time. So just tell us a little bit about you and what led you starting this business.
Oh, okay. So I am a full-time working mom, and I'm married and I have 2 kids, and I did oil and gas consulting on the IT side. And we built a house in a neighborhood in Houston, and I needed some help because the last thing I needed to do was have another item on my to-do list, along with taking my kids to the baseball field, taking my kids to the soccer field, So I went and looked for this company, and actually, surprisingly, it did not exist. So I wrote a business plan. I even passed the idea to my builder to see if he thought it was a good idea, and he did. So 2 years later, I started it, and here we are.
Well, I'm excited to share with everyone what the house manager is. What services do you provide? Tell us a little bit more about that.
So the house manager, we are basically your concierge home management company. We work just like a property management company does for rentals, but for your own home. And you call us for anything and everything you need. Just like your rental tenants will call your property manager and say, hey, something broke, and the property manager say, okay, I got it. I'll contact our vendor and I will get back with you with the schedule. That is exactly how we work. We do everything under the sun for a home. I mean, plumbing, electrical, roofers, pools, lawn services, maid services, you name it, we've got it.
That's wonderful. So you mentioned basically home management.
Yes.
I mean, is this like you said also about a property manager, but you're for your own home, right? A person's home.
Yes. And how many times have you ever heard like, oh God, I just wish a project manager, I had one of those property managers for my own house just to help me out. And that's exactly why we exist.
It's almost like an assistant.
Yes, it is it's exactly like an assistant. I mean, you call and you speak to one of us and you say, hey, my toilet broke and I got to get to work. And we're like, okay, we've got it. We have a list of our vendors. We're not Angie's List. We're not yellow paging it. We're not starring it. We personally know every single person we work with, and we know the owner. We don't work with companies where we are not one-on-one in touch with the owner in the event something happens. Things happen. They just do.
They do. So the companies that you work with, the owners, everyone's fully insured. They're clearly they're vetted, and they're just a cell phone call away.
Yeah, a cell phone call or a text.
I love that. Okay, so are there services that people ask to be scheduled monthly? I mean, I have my AC checked twice a year. Is that something that you would manage for me?
Yes. So one thing we get asked a lot for is monthly handyman service, and we do have subscriptions, and 2 of our subscription packages, you get a handyman sent to your home every month, and what he does is basically knock out your honey-do list, the items that you might have had a list for your spouse or maybe even for yourself or maybe your kids, who knows, but they come and knock out that list every month so you can just go about doing something else. So light bulbs, air filters, doorknobs. I mean, you need a box carried from upstairs to downstairs. You just need help because you're organizing your house and you want him to move some things around for you. Our handyman does everything.
Okay, I just love that, the convenience. Literally, schedule a day, call you, schedule a day, and have your honey-do list ready, right? Let you know ahead of time so you have that right person.
Yep.
And they just come in and they do it all.
Yes. And the other thing we do with that list is, handyman is a generalist. So there are things he cannot do. And because we do have the expertise, we do go through your list and we let you know, hey, this really needs to be an electrician or a painter or a carpenter. So we then will we'll get you a quote once you get us that deposit, then we'll schedule you with one of those trades, and same thing happens, they come out and they complete the project.
Excellent. So how does a person, you have a great website, I think it's a robust website, how would they sign up for the different plans that you do offer?
Yes, so when you go to our site, thehousemanager.net, up in the right-hand corner, there is an orange button, and it says Pricing and Plans, and just click on it, and it will give you the 3 options of our 3 packages. So the first one is just a starter package. It allows us to manage your house, and you get a discount for being a member. The other 2 packages, you will get a handyman sent to your house monthly and knock out whatever you need to do, along with the management and the discounts.
Wonderful. What are the standard things? I mean, there's a laundry list. We have spring cleaning upon us, right? It's April. Spring cleaning is here. what are the common things that you're asked on a monthly basis? I mean, is it pretty straight across the board, or what's your most unusual request?
So, unusual. Oh, good Lord. If I had to give that out, I don't know if that person watched, they might not get up.
Okay, don't share that one.
No, just kidding. I mean, there has been some unusual ones. Let's see. Right now, because it's pollen season, we are basically soft washing a lot of people's houses. We also are window washing. Now, I always tell people who are like, oh, my house is not dirty. I call it the lick test. I challenge everybody to go lick their finger and put it on the side of your house, and I guarantee you it does not come out clean. Now, don't go to your house and lick it with your tongue. That would not be very good. But lick it with your finger, and never once even the white houses, they're like, but it's white, it's all clean. It's not clean, just like your car is not clean. There is pollutants everywhere, and it's on your house, and the longer you keep it there, it will bake into your paint.
Oh my gosh, you never even think about that.
No, people are like, I have such a pretty white house. Well, it looks pretty. Now just go lick your house.
Oh gosh, I love that. You know, Kat and I are friends, and I just enjoy spending time with her and her energy. What else can you share with us about the house manager?
So, I mean, we do everything from backsplashes to wallpaper to ripping out carpet, putting carpet, to small things like changing your light bulbs and changing your air filters. There is nothing actually. Everybody's like, oh, I have a small job. I don't think anybody's going to want to come to my house. There's tons of small jobs, and we come and we do every single one of them. We also have organizers. If there is not something we have not been exposed to, we have a plethora of resources to reach out to, including Michelle, to say, hey, do you have a trade, or have you ever done this before? So we can investigate, call the owners of the company, and talk to them about our potential clients, or one of our clients' potential projects.
Wonderful. So with the, is there an area of town that you specialize in, or in the Houston metropolitan? Do you expand past that point, or is there a specific area that you service?
We mostly do Greater Houston. We do have a few in Katy. I think we have one or two in Sugar Land, but we do concentrate mostly in Greater Houston.
Wonderful. What else can we talk about the house manager?
Anybody who has stress and cannot just take another item on their list. I mean, who can? I mean, things move too fast these days, and homes are not easy to take care of. And there are so many items that people are like, I really don't need a handyman. Well, one of the things we do when somebody signs up is we come do a home inspection, because the way one of us looks at your house versus you're looking at the big item, like, oh, there's a big scratch on the wall, or maybe there's a hole in the wall that I literally just found out in my own daughter's room that she said happened a few years ago, and put a poster over it. So anything, but we look at from baseboards to, just little nicks on the walls, to light bulbs, to if your doors I'm looking around the room, to your door jambs that are maybe starting to come off, to your weather stripping, to even when I look at your door and I notice if there's light coming in, I know your door needs adjusting. Light should not be coming into your door. So we look at from top to bottom right when you sign up for our membership. So you have this laundry list of items. You get to pick and choose what we work on, but a lot of times it's stuff you didn't even think of.
I remember you sharing a story one evening that what you just talked about, you literally went into a new client home and they really felt like everything's great, just want you to come check it out and see if I really do need your services. And I can't remember, you said like 1 or 2 pages of items within the home that you, as you said, you just don't notice. I mean, you get resigned to seeing that ding, that scratch, the door handle that's loose. And those are the things that you identify. So just having that in the space when you are a business owner, when you are a working mom, when you are a double income family, sometimes you just need that extra person or that assistant to help you get the plumber called. Because it could take 6 months to get that call, make that phone call, and the next thing you know, it is triple the cost of the repair because you just did not have the time to call.
Right, because it totally broke now. It wasn't just a little maintenance, maybe a little fix. Now it's a big fix.
Right. Well, Kat, thank you so much for who you are and what you do for families and business owners, entrepreneurs, all of us, to make our life easier. And we appreciate you so much. And thank you for being here today.
Well, thanks, Michelle, for having me.
All right. We'll be right back after these commercials.
Hey, Lily says AT&T's giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
The tax and bookkeeping team is key to any successful business. At Gunderson's Bookkeeping, our passion is to help small business owners grow, be profitable, and to prosper. We specialize in supporting small to mid-sized business owners who want to hire a full-time or even a part-time bookkeeper, but just do not have the funds. In addition, we free business owners from the tedious tasks of bookkeeping and help them focus on their business operations, their growth, and profitability. Gunderson's Bookkeeping is your business solutions partner, offering a broad range of services to meet the needs of our clients. A profitable business needs accurate and reliable books, so take a strong step and call us today for your personal, no-risk consultation.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, Michelle Briggs at Your Personal Real Estate. We are continuing today with Scott McGrath. He's the owner of McGrath Pest Control. How are you doing today, Scott?
I'm good. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm so glad that you are here. You personally take care of my termite inspections when needed. So I appreciate who you are for us, for realtors and us in this industry. So tell us a little bit about you and McGrath, like why you started McGrath Pest Control.
Sure. So this is our 49th year to be in business. So actually my dad started the company in 1974. He was a school teacher, wanted to get out, do something different, and thought this would be a great industry. So I've kind of grown up with it. I've always done it on the weekends. And then I started about 23 years ago full-time doing it. And then I've owned it for about 14 years now. It's been a great business for us.
Wonderful. So with McGrath having, you have so many services that you provide homeowners. What do you see as the most common issue with a home?
Well, here in Houston, we have a cornucopia of different insects. But the majority of the insects that we see are typically roaches, ants, spiders, termites, things like that. Those are the ones that we see, and roaches are big here in Houston. So when someone has an issue or problem, they call us. Typically those 3 or 4 insects are the ones that we treat the most.
Well, I have a personal issue with roaches. I don't like them. So it's very important to make sure that my home is sprayed consistently.
Yes,
right?
it is. Yes, it is.
So when someone is purchasing a home, one of the things when I represent the buyer, I look for different things that may flag or make concern of any type of pest issue. What do you recommend that the homeowner or the new buyer look for when walking through a home that they possibly are going to purchase to determine if there's a roach or any other pest problem?
Right. Well, when you walk through a house, whether it's furnished or not, one of the first things you want to look for are on window ledges or their spider webs. Do you see droppings somehow? Specks of dirt. You can open up cabinets and see, are there droppings in there? Is anything rotten in there? Attics. Go in the attic, look and see. A lot of times you'll have roof rats that get into the attic, and you'll notice you have them because A, either the droppings are around, or B, you'll see tunneling through all the insulation in the attic itself. So those are just a few things on the inside of the house they can look for. Now, on the outside, there's just a lot of things you can look for as far as ant mounds and again, spiders in trees and termites and different things like that.
Well, termite season is upon us. So when you're talking about, termites outside, what should homeowners, speaking to homeowners, what should they be looking for to possibly identify termites? Not just outside, but are there tunnels along the wall? What are those signs?
Well, the first thing is you want to keep your foundation high around your house, okay? You don't want to put dirt or bricks or anything that covers up the foundation. Termites need 1/64 of an inch to get in somewhere, and that's it. And they're attracted to moisture and fungus. So we have to be able to see the foundation in order to see any sort of termite tunnel cruising up the side of the house. So what I tell my customers is if you walk around the house, if you can't see your foundation, call me so we can look on the inside or look around different places. But if you see any sort of mud-looking tunnel, that may be termite. Now, it could be ants, but more than likely it's probably termites. So I tell them, don't touch it. Call me. We'll come out and take a look at it for you.
So when you come out, what is the procedure? What do you do to determine that is termites, in fact, termites?
Well, the big thing is just knowing what a termite tunnel looks like. Okay, there's a lot of big differences between ants and termites. The big thing that I look at is if I see any sort of hard mud tunnel up against the house, if I can literally kind of do this to it and nothing happens, typically it's termites. Or if I flick it off of there, you'll see the milky white termites running away from that opening. Termites hate openings. They have to have the high humidity inside their tunnels to live. That's why you'll never ever see a termite just walking around the driveway or the side of the house, anything like that. Typically, if you see that, it's probably ants.
Got it. We should then, when we find those tunnels, if I can get that out, the tunnels, should we knock them off ourselves, or do we really need to just call you?
No, don't touch them. I tell everybody, stay away. Stay far away. Don't look at them. Don't even think about them. Just give me a call. We'll come out and we can take a look and see. Even if it's not termites, it could be. And now, I've actually seen ants cover a termite tunnel. So because ants are a natural predator for the termite. So we have ways, we have our experience, we know what to do, what to look for, that maybe some homeowners don't. And if you mess with it, sometimes then we can't tell after you knock it off if it's termites or not.
That completely makes sense. With the termite inspection, Alex, again, you've done many for me, and thank you again for your service.
Yes, ma'am.
I know how quickly you provide the reports, but tell our viewers today how quickly you provide your termite inspections.
Oh, I can usually do a termite inspection in probably about 30, 45 minutes, depending on the size of the house, and I can get the inspections out in about 5 minutes. I've got these real nifty iPads that I put everything on, everything's electronic, and once I get it done, I can save it and then I can email it to the customer right then and there. Now, if they're there at the house, then what I typically do is I'll go over with them, I'll go over all the conducive conditions, things that I can't see, anything that promotes or could promote termite activity, and then I usually give them my recommendations of what I think they should do before they buy the house.
Wonderful. So not only do you do pest control, you have started a new division. I guess it's really not new, but a division that's wildlife services.
It is.
Tell us about that. How many calls in Houston do
you
get?
That's yes. This whole new division is booming for us. It's like I said, we've been pest control forever. I just started this wildlife division about 2 or 3 years ago. Now, that being said, it's new to my company, but I have employees that have been doing it for 15, 16, 17 years. So there's not much in the wildlife/animal division that we haven't seen. The majority of the calls that we get right now are rodents, squirrels, raccoons, possums, but we also too we like to say anything that has 4 legs we can trap, we can get rid of. We do lots of nutras, we do lots of bats. We even got an alligator call the other day. So still waiting to do that one, but we did get that call. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we can do.
Well, speaking of alligators, I mean, you just don't know those community lakes sometimes. I always wonder. I would say just throw a rock out there before you do anything else or get close to the edge with your fur babies. So
Exactly.
What has changed? Tell us a little bit about what has changed in pest control over the years, because there's so many types of treatments, and from years ago to today, I mean, there are services that have been eliminated just because of what was being used inside of a home. So tell us a little bit about what's changed over the years.
Well, a lot has changed as far as the chemical usage, what we're allowed to use, what we're not allowed to use. They've gotten rid of a lot of the really good, strong chemicals. Back in the day when my dad started this company, they had this chemical that you put it out once and you were done. You were done for like 30 years, but they outlawed that chemical. And so now we have to be a little more creative in what we do. Our tagline is we have to think like a bug. And be a detective and go in there and not necessarily just spray and go, but we have to identify the problem, figure out where it is, what it is, and then the best method to do it. Over the years too, a lot of customers have been worried about chemical exposure and their kids in their house. And so we're very aware of that, and we've altered our services and to meet their needs when it comes to it. So we don't just go inside the house and spray everywhere. We can do pest prevention. We can do just the outsides. We can walk around and go, here's some open areas that we think a cockroach or a spider or an ant could get into. So let's seal up those areas. We don't necessarily have to just put chemicals all around the house. So we feel the customers out, and we provide whatever service meets their needs to make them happy.
Scott, one of the things that I do know with the exterior of the home, and you have plants that, again, you're speaking to the type of pesticides that you use. I mean, they are plant friendly as well as fur baby friendly. Is there anything that you have or a pesticide that you use that you may say, please, stay off the grass for a few days?
Yes, we do. So there's a lot of chemicals. Now, what we do is we follow the label. I mean, the label is our Bible. That is our law. So whatever the label says, that's what we do. We have one chemical that we can put in the yard that we've been using for probably about 15 years. It is a great hot chemical for all kinds of yard insects. But we do ask that you keep all animals and kids off the grass until it dries. Once it dries, it's perfectly fine. And again, that's according to the label itself. We have some chemicals that are not friendly to aquatic life or birds. So we have to read those and know where to treat it, where not to treat it, when we can treat it. Sometimes we have to treat it early in the daytime, sometimes late at night. So it all kind of depends on different things. We also provide a lot of eco-friendly chemicals because a lot of people are leaning more toward that. So we have that division of the company too, that we can provide the eco-friendly type of chemicals for our customers.
Great. Well, before we go to commercial break, tell us about your new YouTube show that you're doing.
Oh, thank you. Yes. So, I'm all over social media. I've got a bunch of different things all over. I'm really trying to promote my YouTube page. It's called Pest Talk with Scott McGrath. It's just a real quick, sometimes it's 30 seconds, sometimes it's a minute. It could be every 2 weeks, it could be once a month. It's just a general thing of what's going on in the industry, what's going on with me and my life, what's going on with my company, anything that's new that's going on. When the termite season started, I got in there and I started talking about termites. When I do termite inspections, I'll have someone roll it for me, and I'll talk about why termite inspections are important and what to look for and what I look for and what I put on there. So it's something fun. It's nothing real serious or anything, and I'm definitely not like you, Michelle, but it's something I'm trying to go to. So again, it's Pest Talk with Scott McGrath. In fact, I even did a vacation version of it last week. So
wonderful. Well, thank you again for being here with us, Scott, and we'll be right back after these commercials.
Thank you.
Working, especially if you don't have the right attorney at your side. Hi, my name is Sonia Aston, and I'm an attorney with over 30 years of experience. I've helped small and medium-sized businesses and business owners to make sure that their legal rights and interests are protected. As general counsel for you and your organization, I can draft and review solid contracts, minimize the risk of litigation, Review and prepare comprehensive business succession plans for help you navigate your company with the local, state, and federal government. Take a decisive step today. I'm here to make sure your legal rights are protected and you have a peace of mind that you deserve.
Are you a business owner feeling overwhelmed or burnt out with no energy left for what's most important to you? In order to effectively run your business and maximize your profits, you have got to be the best possible you that you can be. Now is the time to reclaim your energy, master your schedule, and maximize your profits so you can effectively run your business rather than it running you. It's time to become the CEO of your business and life. I'm Jen Godet, a business strategist and life coach. I work with overwhelmed business owners who feel stuck in a rut and depleted. I teach you how to stop doing the things that aren't making you money and start prioritizing the things that bring you energy, joy, and lasting impact. I'm a human performance specialist and an international best-selling author. I've helped countless people all over the world to learn the art of saying no, overcome their fear, and maximize their performance. Let's get you to live your best possible reality. Start today and become the CEO of your business and your life.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Michelle Briggs, your host for Your Personal Real Estate. And today we are continuing our show with TJ Hilscher. He is the CEO and owner of HG Home Inspection. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you, Michelle?
Wonderful. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Now, TJ, tell us about you and why you started HG Inspections.
Well, it's kind of an interesting story. I've been in real estate since the mid-90s. I was working in Hawaii as a sales trainer of all things for a developer over there, and just had this urge to come back to Texas. I didn't know why, didn't quite understand it, and that week I got a phone call from a former colleague offering me a position with a company with a new division, and I came back to Texas with high hopes and soon found it wasn't a good fit. So really being discouraged and just in a spot where I didn't understand, I was washing my boat of all things, and I just had this moment of, I call it a divine moment of clarity, and home inspections came in my head, and I just thought, home inspections. Well, when I started doing a little research, the school that offers the licensing here in Houston was having a career night that week, and I thought, wow, what's the chances? So went in and I found out there was only 2,000 home inspectors in the entire state of Texas at the time. And being that I'd worked with inspectors in the past, I knew that the industry had some areas that could really be improved on. So the rest of it's really history. I got my license and started my company, and here we are today, 17 inspectors deep and growing every day.
It is definitely a need in our industry, and it is so important for everyone that is buying a home, even new construction.
Absolutely.
So your tagline is simply the best. What makes HG Inspection simply the best?
Well, going into the industry, I kind of went in with wanting to make not only the industry better, but have a company that really stood out. So the first thing I realized was we had to deliver the reports on site. Now that wasn't exactly easy. We had to work with our software company and develop a different type of program than what we had started with, and soon started delivering reports on site. Started using thermal imaging, which we were one of the first in the area to do that. Using drones, better technologies, and now that's morphed into, as our team has grown, we require our team not to just complete the 194 hours of state licensing requirements, but we also require them to do an additional 132 hours of training that deals with home inspections in a more micro kind of approach instead of a macro. And we also, with that, have grown to be the largest team of certified master inspectors in the state of Texas. So we're very proud of that. We have some of the best educated and one of the largest teams out there. So I think that's how we are simply the best.
I would agree. I mean, having that many inspectors on your team speaks for itself. It speaks for who you are as the owner and the training that you provide, and clearly the family feel, because you don't find that many inspection companies that have that many master inspectors on their team. So kudos to you for that.
Thank you.
And what are some of the items that you inspect when you're completing a home inspection?
Well, every home's different, but they typically, we're going to start with the foundation, and we're going to work our way all the way up to the roof. So what that means is we're going to check every electrical outlet that's accessible in the home. We're going to check the breaker panel, the service coming in, make sure it's adequate service for what the buyers need. A new need in this environment is electrical cars, EVs, to be charged. A lot of homes, that were built 10, 15 years ago weren't built with EVs in mind. So when we do an inspection, if somebody's planning on having an EV, we're going to look and see if the power panel can accommodate that. We're going to check all the windows, doors, the whole structure of the home, just to make sure that it's structurally sound, the foundation's good, the roof's good. And if it's not, we're going to have a detailed report showing each item that's deficient and make a recommendation on what needs to be done to correct it.
With the recommendations, if you find that you may recommend the AC being inspected further.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you have conversations? Should a realtor call or the potential home buyer give you a call? Could they ask those questions for clarity?
They're always welcome to. A lot of times we're going to refer them, because we're limited with our licensing on exactly what we can and cannot do as far as testing an air conditioner. And if we see things that just might need a little bit of attention from a HVAC professional or somebody that carries a little bit higher license on air conditioning in particular, we're going to definitely refer them over to a company that's, first of all, reputable and somebody that we've done business with in the past.
Wonderful. What are other inspections that you provide? Because you're not only home inspections, you have many other services. Share with us a little bit more about the other inspections
absolutely.
that you provide.
Most people think of home inspections as just a pre-purchase of a existing home. So, but if you're doing a new build, we do phase inspections, which means we're going to come out and check out the foundation before it's poured, make sure that they laid out the foundation correctly. We're going to come in during the framing process and make sure all the framing's done properly. And then we're going to come in and do a final inspection, which you typically expect. Another area that we do is air quality. Being in the Houston area with the humidity that we have, that's a very important test, because air quality test is going to tell you about mold spores, different allergens and things that are in the air. Also, we can add water quality testing as well. We test septics, wells, and then pools and things like that. Now, our pool inspection is a little limited. We're just making sure it runs properly and everything's labeled properly and it's grounded, and most importantly, safety issues. But those are our additional things that we offer as a company.
Well, that is wonderful, because all of those items are very important, especially when you're purchasing a home, because it gives you an opportunity to determine, are there repairs that are going to be necessary immediately, or if it's something that can wait. Now, how quickly do you have home reports completed after an inspection?
Well, that's one of the things that make us simply the best, is we deliver the report on site. Now, that's on our normal inspection reports. When it comes to air quality and water quality, those are definitely something that we send to a lab. We typically have a 24-hour turnaround on that. But as far as your general inspection report, you're going to get that the same day while we're on the property, when it's possible. Meaning if Wi-Fi is available or we can get it with a hotspot. If not, we're going to email it to you before the day's over. So a lot of times if you call the same day, We get out there that afternoon, you're going to get your report before 5 p.m.
That's amazing. It's great because when you're in the option period, when you're under contract, you have a 5-day, 7-day, 10-day option. I mean, we were not too long ago, there was no option period. However, there was still a need for a home inspection. So it's important to have those so that way you can see what potentially you're up against as a home buyer.
Absolutely. I mean, we have a big following of, especially when the market was really hot and we were doing 3-day option periods as realtors, that were calling us and we were getting the report the same day and they knew if the property was for them or not. So it's good for the seller too, because if it's not for them, the seller can move on to the next offer.
Exactly, or potentially look at taking care of some of those repairs, right?
Absolutely.
For the next one. So HD Home Inspections, you complete your inspections 6 days a week. Mm-hmm. And your reports have a CRL feature. Share with us, what is the CRL feature and how is it beneficial for a home buyer and a realtor?
Again, a big part of my company is separating ourselves from the pack, and we actually set the standard because a lot of the companies have brought themselves up to delivering the reports faster and things like that. The CRL is what really sets us apart right now. It gives the realtor and the buyer an opportunity to look at their report, go over it, and the things that they are concerned about, they can click on that option. They can click on that particular deficiency, and it puts it into a separate document. And that document will ask, do you want the seller to repair it, or would you like an allowance for that particular deficiency? And you go through the whole report. We have agents that do it in the kitchen of the house while we're still there. And it takes about 5 minutes. It creates a separate document that they can send to the seller's agent and to the seller that lets them know exactly where the negotiations are and where they're going to go from there.
Where it all begins again.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, is there anything else that you can share with us about HD Home Inspections?
Well, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, we do have 17 inspectors, and it gives us the opportunity to do same-day inspections. I mean, what I mean by same-day inspections is a lot of times we can do it the same day you call. We train our inspectors for hundreds of hours within our program and within INTRNACHI, which is the International Association of Certified Home Inspectors. All of our home inspectors are CPI with them, which is Certified Professional Inspectors, along with being certified inspectors with the state. And then once they hit their 1,000 inspections paid with our company, then they become certified master inspectors. So our team stays with us a while and we work together real closely. So typically if there's an inspector out in the field that runs into something they haven't seen, they can text the rest of the team and there's somebody on our team that's seen it and done it. So it really makes for a great environment and a great report. Like I said, I've been in the industry since the early 90s. We've been doing HD Home Inspection for 10 years now, and I really think we have changed the industry tremendously.
And I would agree with that. Thank you for what you do, TJ. We appreciate you greatly, and we'll be right back after these commercials.
Working and risky, especially if you don't have the right attorney at your side. Hi, my name is Sonia Aston, and I'm an attorney with over 30 years of experience. I've helped small and medium-sized businesses and business owners to make sure that their legal rights and interests are protected. As general counsel for you and your organization, I can draft and review solid contracts, minimize the risk of litigation, review and prepare comprehensive business succession plans, or help you navigate your company with the local, state, and federal government. Take a decisive step today. I'm here to make sure your legal rights are protected and you have a peace of mind that you deserve.
Welcome back, everyone. I mean, gosh, what a show today. We want to thank all of our guests today. Chris Parrott with Motto Mortgage, Kat Theriot, owner of The House Manager, Scott McGrath, the owner of McGrath Pest Control, and of course TJ Hilscher, CEO and owner of HG Home Inspections. Thank you for joining us today. Our show airs Thursdays at 5 p.m. and we want to be your guide to the real estate market. If you're looking to sell your house or buy a home, I invite you to allow me to be of service to you and your family. I'm Michelle Briggs, and this is Your Personal Real Estate.